8 Black Americans whose art, music, and culture were stolen and made billions for others. The last one will shock you. Number 1. Elvis Presley's Hound Dog was originally recorded by Big Mama Thornton in 1952. Her version reached number 1 on the R&B charts. She was paid a flat fee of $500. Elvis recorded it 4 years later. It sold 10 million copies and launched his career. She died in 1984 in a boarding house with almost nothing. Number 2. Rock and roll was invented by black musicians. Chuck Berry, Little Richard, and Fats Domino created the genre. The music was called race music by the industry. When white artists recorded versions of the same songs, they were called covers, received more radio play, and sold more copies. The original artists watched their inventions make other people wealthy. Number 3. Robert Johnson's blues recordings made in the 1930s became the foundation of British rock music in the 1960s. The Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin, and Eric Clapton built careers on his innovations. Johnson died in 1938 at 27 with almost no commercial success. He received no royalties from the genre his work created. Number 4. Sister Rosetta Tharpe invented rock and roll guitar technique in the 1940s. Her electric guitar playing, her showmanship, and her blending of gospel with blues created the template that Chuck Berry and Little Richard later popularized. She is not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. She was inducted in 2018, 44 years after her death, after decades of advocacy from musicians who acknowledged her influence. Number 5. The dance moves that defined American popular culture from the Charleston to the twist to hip-hop were created in black communities. Each one followed the same pattern. Created in black neighborhoods, adopted by white performers, sold to mainstream audiences without credit or compensation to the originators. The pattern has repeated in every decade of American popular culture without exception. Number 6. Jazz was described by Congress in 1987 as a rare and valuable national American treasure. The musicians who created it spent their careers performing in clubs where they could not stay in the hotels, eat in the restaurants, or use the bathrooms available to white audience members who paid to watch them play. Number 7. Motown's artists signed contracts in the early 1960s that gave Berry Gordy's company control over their recordings, their images, and their touring. The Temptations, the Four Tops, Mary Wells, and others created some of the most commercially successful music in American history. Many received a fraction of what they were owed. Mary Wells left Motown at 21 and spent the rest of her career fighting for royalties that never came. She died at 49 without health insurance. Before I say the last one, make sure to hit that follow button to support the channel. Number 8. Rhythm and blues was a term created by Billboard magazine in 1949 to replace the term race music in its music charts. The music itself had not changed. The black artists making it had not changed. The white-owned industry that controlled its distribution had not changed. Only the label changed. Because the old label was becoming commercially inconvenient in a post-war America that was beginning to feel awkward about the explicitness of its own racial categories. The artists who made the music that was being relabeled were not consulted about the new name. They were not given more money. They were not given more radio play. They were not given more control over their recordings. They were given a new category name that made it easier for the industry to sell their music to white teenagers, who then bought it. And the artists who made it watched the industry that had always controlled them find a more palatable way to describe what it was doing. The music changed America. The people who made it were not allowed to change with it, at least not at the same speed, at least not with the same rewards, at least not in this version of the story, which is the version that was written by the people who controlled the labels, not the ones who made the music.